everyone, and welcome to Friar's Desk Live, where we talk about spiritual insights, inspirational stories, and innovative ideas. Life gets hectic, doesn't it? Whether it's deadlines, responsibilities, or just the chaos of everyday life, stress is something we all deal with. But here's the question: are we handling it the right way? St. Augustine once said, "Our hearts are restless until they rest in you." Maybe the answer to stress isn't just doing less, but in trusting more. In this episode, we'll talk about how faith, prayer, or even simple habits can help us manage stress. Not just survive it, but grow through it. So take a deep breath, settle in, and let's get started. Today's guests are academic staff and experts from the UST Department of Psychology. We start with Instructor Catherine Hipolito, MA. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon po, Father.
What shall I call you, Ma'am Cat?
Ma'am Kath na lang po.
Okay, thank you. And second, we have Professor Claudette Agnes, PhD, concurrently serving as the Assistant Dean of the College of Science. Good afternoon,
Good afternoon, Father.
What shall I call you? Doc Claudette.
Any Father.
Okay, thank you. And Sister Angelina M. Hulom, PhD. Tama po ba, Sister? Okay, what shall I call you, Sister? Sister, can you have your mic with you? Thank you.
You can call me Sister Angie, Father.
Sister Angie. So, good afternoon po, mga guests. And we are going to tackle about stress. Stress ba tayo?
Stress na stress.
Stress na. Okay, so siguro we need to define first what is stress. No? Siguro we could start with Ma'am Kat. What is stress all about? Kasi we are defining stress in a lot of ways. But how do we define stress in the Department of Psychology?
Okay, para po sa atin, ang stress po is a natural response to a perceived threat or danger. And nakakaranas po tayo ng different signs and symptoms of stress, kagaya ng minsan irritable tayo, o kaya naman nahihirapan tayong matulog, o kaya palagi tayong pagod. So it's a combination of different symptoms such as cognitive, emotional, and also physiological.
Ito ba yung sinasabi natin if you're overwhelmed by so many things that we get to be stressed? Ganun po ba yung pag sinabi nating may lack of motivation? Kasi there are many kinds of stresses, no? Parang how we react with the word stress. Kasi sabi natin, in the everyday life that we are having, especially us here in the metro, we are having stresses left and right, and we get to be overwhelmed. Ganun po ba yung sinasabi nating stress? Kasi we have stress in work, stress in study, stress in the family, stress in personal life. We get to be overwhelmed by so many things. Bakit kaya, ma'am? Bakit kaya tayo nai-stress, lalo dito sa metro?
Napakadaming factors po, no? Lalo ngayon, napakadami nating external stressors. So yung mga bagay na nag-cause ng stress po sa atin, ang tawag po natin doon ay stressors. So tama po yung nabanggit nyo, Father. So meron tayong financial stressors. Sa mga estudyante, yan, academics yung number one stress nila, saka yung social relationships. And sa mga adults naman, lalo yung mga working na, yung mga responsibilities natin such as finances, or kaya naman rearing a child, and taking care of our family, yun yung mga nagiging source ng stress po natin. And as contrary po dun sa iniisip natin na ang stress ay merong negative na naidudulot sa atin, meron pong mga benefits rin po naman ang stress natin as long as hindi natin siya na-experience in severity or persistently. Kasi ang stress po, kapag nakaranas tayo ng stress, nag-improve yung performance natin. So for example, kapag hindi nakaranas ng stress ang estudyante sa academics, so most likely parang lang sila, relax lang sila, or hindi sila masyadong magbibigay ng effort nila kasi di naman stressful yung subject madali lang naman ipasa to So hindi nila nabibigay yung best effort nila. So at some point, importante din yung stress sa atin. Pero wag nga lang yung sobra kasi may negative impact ito sa atin.
Thank you po. Doc Claudette, ganun din ba yung sinasabi lang, I work under pressure kapag malapit na yung deadline, doon ako gumagaling. Kaya yung iba, nagpo-procrastinate na. Parang pag malapit na yung deadline, doon sila parang nagpupursige. Doon nila nakikita yung sarili nila that they are doing their best because malapit na yung deadline.
Good afternoon again, Father. Good afternoon sa lahat ng mga nakikinig. Actually, pag you're working under stress, no, hindi rin maganda na ikaw ay gumagawa ng mga ganung bagay, no, na lalo kang na-stress. Actually, Father, nagkakaroon ka ng mental health issues, no. Yung iba, sabi nila magaling sila pag under stress sila. Pero actually, Father, hindi po yun. Kasi actually, yung ginagawa nila ay sila mismo yung body nila nagre-react doon sa stress. Tsaka, Father, isa pa, yung kanilang physical, yung mental, yung physiological, lalong tumataas yung pag-deal nila doon. So, siguro, at first, yung mga sinasabi, mga estudyante natin, ang dami nilang, I really work excellent if I am under stress, doing under stress. Actually, hindi po. No? Marami silang nakakalimutan. At dahil sa pagkalimot nila, nawawala na doon yung focus nila. Tsaka ang kailangan dito, Father, is they really have to plan ahead of time para yung kanilang mental health maayos. Lalo na ngayon, no? Yung ating mga estudyante, hindi lang estudyante, pati yung mga nagtatrabaho sa dami ng nakaka-affect external stressors sa kanila, hindi nila nagagawa agad ang kanilang mga dapat gawin sa buhay. So, sabi nila, magaling sila, ito, mataas naman ang grade ko. So, siguro mas maganda kung I'll be working under stress. Pero hindi, Father, kasi marami pa rin ang nakakalimutan nila deep inside. There are sad experiences in their lives. Kaya andoon, very stressful din sila.
Yun din po, parang nag-accumulate po yung mga stresses nila. Then, all of a sudden, they will stop or stop what they are doing, or they will just forget everything, no, after ng stress period na iyon. Tama ba yun?
Actually, tama, Father. No? By experience with clients, nakakalimutan nila yung mga dapat nilang gawin. At ang mahirap dito, Father, pag nag-a-accumulate na yung stress na sinasabi ko, yung mga unresolved issues sa kanila, doon na tumataas yung nagkakaroon na ng severity, nagkakaroon na ng chronic illness, mental illness, hanggang meron ng anxiety, depression, at yung iba hindi na kaya nila gampanan yung mga dapat gampanan nila. Kasi there are two types of stress, no, Father? We have the eustress. We call that as positive stress. The other one is we call that distress. Ito na yung distress na parang hindi na nila kayang i-cope with the natural way on how to deal with stress. They need people that will guide and hopefully, no, help them resolve the issues in their lives.
Okay, thank you, Doc. Sister Angie, what are the signs or maybe causes muna tayo? What are the causes of the stress of so many people? Causes and signs of stress po kaya?
Hi, Father. So, as also Ma'am Kat said, no, there are so many stressors. But stressors can be very helpful, especially if the person is able to see the self as capable of handling. So it's not really the amount of stressors that can make us sick, but it is the evaluation of our capability. So like for example, like what Dr. Claudette Agnes said, that the stress can be extreme. So high level of stress is not really helpful. What we need is the moderate level of stress. And that's what Dr. Claudette said, it's the eustress. Okay? So the causes of stress is really our evaluation of our capability. Because even how much stressors that we have, if we feel that we are capable, we do not feel that kind of high stress that that can hinder us to respond to our responsibilities. So, depende po yan. Like, for example, if I have low self-esteem, so, my ability in handling stress may be lower than those who have high self-esteem.
But sister, how do we know that this is my limit of my stress, or this stress I can handle, pero itong these things or these activities or these events I cannot anymore handle? How do I know my limit?
A father, the person needs to be aware of the self. Like my students, I always tell them, you have to know yourself. Like the ability of your memory to retain information. So how much time do you need to study? Or how many times do you need to study in order for you to be able to remember the lessons? So some people can remember the lesson or retain the information even just when they study once, because their ability to retain the information is very keen. But some, they need more time to study. They need to really review like 4 to 5 times. So they have to know themselves. If they have to respond according to their ability also. Well, if they do not know themselves, they need help. That's why they in our university, we have the understanding of the self, so that they know their ability how to handle stress. Then actually, what is needed and is very helpful is to set their goals. If they have their goals in life, goals can also motivate them to really act even in stressful situations.
Like the purpose, no, what you are doing. Because
purpose.
sometimes we do not have any purpose. We're just doing at present, no, the things that we need to do. Pero
Yes.
there's no end, there's no purpose. That's why we need a purposeful life, di ba? Sabi
Yes,
nga.
that's why spirituality is also needed, Father.
Yes, later on we will tackle on that, sister. Ma'am Kat, if there are when we are talking of stressors, it's not just one stressor that causes us to be stressed, di ba? For example, if you're studying, it's not just the academics that gives you stress, but if you are having some personal life issues or a problem with the family, or even commuting to work or to study or to the university, how can we deal with that with so many stressors at hand? Do we deal them one by one, or can we deal it simultaneously?
Okay, very good question po yan, Father. And siguro before I answer the question po, I agree po sa sinabi ni Sister na yung belief natin sa sarili natin that we can manage our stress can be one way to somehow lessen the negative impact of stress to us. And so as far as yung mga stressors po, tama rin po yung sinabi nyo na marami tayong mga priorities and responsibilities that can cause us stress. And I think it's important for us to learn how to compartmentalize. Lalo kapag estudyante, minsan kapag nasa klase sila, may mga dala-dala sila na problema sa family, problems sa social relationships. Lalo ngayon with the social media, diba? Sobrang daming negative content na nababasa natin sa social media. So we really need to learn how to compartmentalize. And compartmentalizing can be in a form of usually yung sinasabi ko dun sa mga clients ko is, imagine na meron silang cabinet. May cabinet sila, tapos may different drawers sila in their mind. And yung mga problems nila, yung mga stressors nila, ilalagay nila yon one by one dun sa drawer na yon. Tapos kung ano yung kailangan nilang i-deal, in the present moment, yun lang yung drawer na bubuksan nila. So for example, kung nasa loob sila ng classroom, kailangan nila mag-focus sa study, so they try to, di naman forget, no, but they try to set aside. Kasi iba kasi yung forgetting and denial of the problems. Iba yung, okay, I'll just deal with this for now. I'll deal with the other problems later on kasi ito yung mas priority ko for now. So siguro kasi nakaka-overwhelm din lalo if we find solution dun sa lahat ng problems na na-encounter natin. Nag-aggravate siya po lalo ng stress natin.
All at the same time, no? You are
Yes.
finding solutions for a particular problem all at the same time, no?
Yes po.
Doc Claudette, how about those pressures naman? Kasi it's not just the stressors, no, of everyday life, pero the pressure coming from all over, from all sides. For example, your parents are pressuring you to be such and such, no? Or your friends, or even the social media, no? We are pressured by the society that we are in, no? Kailangan ganito yung na-attain mo, or kailangan ganito yung money mo, ganito yung nakukuha mo for your course, pero deep inside hindi ikaw yun eh. How do you manage those kinds of pressure, external pressures that you are dealing with?
Na Father, no, ang unang titingnan dito yung sarili mo. Ano ba talaga ang gusto mo sa buhay mo? I'm telling my clients that you should be yourself. You should not be what your parents would like you to do. Marami akong na-encounter, Father, na mga clients na patients, gusto ng mami ko, first honors ako palagi. Gusto ng daddy ko, maging doctor ako. Pero hindi kaya ng kanyang kakayahan, cognitively, emotionally, physically, hindi niya kaya. Kaya sinasabi ko, you should be the person na you should be, no? Ang mahirap ngayon, Father, yung social media, halimbawa, releasing of grades. Andyan na yung mga parents. Sana you should not take it against me, no? Na talagang the entire result, it will be posted, no? Hindi man lang tinanggal kahit yung student number, ganyan. Lahat nandun. Affected yung bata, no? Tsaka hindi lang yon, yung ibang nakakakita ng mga estudyante, parang dapat ganito lang ako. Pero kasi si mami, si daddy, ganyan. Ang gusto nila, mataas ako. Di ko kaya. Kaya yung iba, Father, nagkakaroon ng failure. Dahil una, may steps yon. Nagkakaroon muna ng mild stress. Pag hindi na kinakaya, nagmo-moderate na. And then, thirdly, no, yung severity. Kasi yung bata, hindi na makatulog sa kaiisip, no? How to deal with this is, at first is, sabi ko nga, we should be the person kung ano tayo, no? Huwag tayong magpanggap na hindi tayo kasi lalong nagkakaroon ng stress sa buhay natin. Second, sa mga estudyante natin, lumapit tayo sa ating mga guidance counselors, sa ating mga teachers. They are our second parents. Kung ito man ang nangyayari sa iba, halimbawa mga professionals, yung mga working individuals, they can ask professionals to help them, to guide them, to coach them, no? We're here to facilitate and we're here to help them. Tapos, Father, marami tayong mga ganon, kaya ang nangyayari later, mental health issues na, no? So, dito sa tanong mo kanina, Father, ang importante lang is we should be humble enough to seek and ask help from our friends, yung mga mapapagkatiwalaan lang natin. Hindi kung sino-sino lang, baka may marites na dyan. Tapos ikikwento ka na, lalong mag-accumulate yung ano natin. Guidance counselors, and then psychologists, psychiatrists, even the nuns, the priests, no? We could help them.
About, Doc, kasi when we are talking of those kinds of problems, kasi yung pressure is coming from external and they are pressuring people, even the society, social media. You need to be like this. Kasi, for example, sa parents, no, ito yung na-attain namin bakit hindi mo kayang i-attain? Konting bagay lang yan. Lalo sa generation ngayon, no? They are thinking na, kung nakaya ko, dapat kayanin mo din, no? Kung ito yung na-attain namin, dapat attain mo rin. Kunyari, ito yung na-attain namin na degree, ito yung na-attain namin na wealth, dapat by this time, or even sa relationships,
Yes.
by this time, may asawa na ako, no? Kailangan may pressure din sa asawa. Or by this time, nakagraduate na ako with honors. How do we deal with those kinds of pressures? Sabihin mo lang ba sa sarili mo, ay, hindi ako, I'm a very unique person. I'm different from you. Ganon lang ba? Ano, Doc?
Father, we have to remember that we are unique from each other. We have individual differences, no? And we should respect the individuality of that person. And kaya nangyayari itong mga mental health issues natin kasi hindi rin tinitingnan nung parents yung other individuals, other significant people in the life of that person himself, no? Hindi nila ini-evaluate kung anong meron sa kakayahan ng kanilang anak, anong merong kapabilidad ang isa. Halimbawa, father, estudyante, may pumunta sa amin, gusto ng daddy kong maging doctor ako, pero ma'am, hindi ito ang gusto kong profession. Ang gusto kong profession ay maging architect or maging engineer. Pero si daddy, si mommy, doctors. Dapat evaluate din po ng parents, ng other individuals, no, yung kakayahan ng tao.
I think it's not just a personal or a family kind of problem. It's a societal, no? Societal
Yes, that's true,
change, no?
Father.
Or societal problem that needs to be changed. I think yung problem natin, it stems out from the society, no? Maybe a Western kind of culture, or even siguro sa ibang bansa na they are pressuring kahit iba. Let us mention siguro sa Korea or sa Singapore that they are pressuring their children to be this because they have this kind of responsibilities when they were in. Sister, how do we now include that our faith? No, kasi sometimes yung stress, it's very psychological. Faith is something that is physical, no, manifestation. How do we now include that faith can also help us in managing stress?
Thank you for that question, Father. So actually, as human being, we have three aspects. No, we have physical, psychological, and spiritual. And the spiritual part is the highest part or aspect of ourselves. So being in connection with our Creator, who is very powerful, loving, and all-knowing, is a very effective way of handling stress. Because when we communicate with God our problems, we can entrust to God what we cannot control. Just like what you said, there's so many stresses around. What we cannot control them, and we have to admit that we cannot control. But God is in control. But so by just thinking of that, believing in that there are things that I cannot control, but God is in control, and God does everything for my good. Even the negative things can also help me become a better person, no? That because studying our faith, no, even God suffered, but that suffering did not end in just a stressful situation, but salvation. So if we really have the faith in God and good relationship with God, it's easier for us to transcend from our suffering, from the difficulties, to hope. And we know that God is the one in control of everything. And we can relieve ourselves from the stress that the being for the desire of to control everything.
Maybe when we are talking of faith, it's not something about we can have, as you have said, control of everything, but there is someone who has and should be in control of our lives, no? Sometimes we get to yung goal natin is only for ourselves. So there is someone who has a plan for us, no? Who has a perfect plan for us, sister, no? Do you think, sister, if there are people who are having those stresses, no, and they do not cling on to God, doon sila bumabagsak or doon sila nangihina?
Actually, sila sa mga clients ko, bumabagsak sila kasi wala na silang mahawakan. Especially if they cannot find support from other people, from their family, they feel hopeless. So, but if we have God, even when we are alone, we don't feel that we are alone. We feel the strength because God is with us. And we know that it is God is the author of our life, and He knows our future, He knows our mission here on earth, and He is the one controlling everything. So, parang we can just rest, no?
And we have somebody who will guide us in our
Yes.
lives, no? Kasi sometimes tayo lang yung nagmamanage ng buhay natin and we have all the direction by ourselves, no? And if we have God as one who gives us direction, I think we can handle stress the better, na po. Ma'am Kat, kasi we are talking about faith, spiritual, but how about physical? How do we handle stress in a very physical manner? Can we have exercise ba? Or paano ba natin? How do we manage stress physically?
Holistic po kasi yung approach natin, ano. So meron tayong psychological, spiritual, and also physical as well. Unfortunately, yung sleep is the most neglected aspect of our physical beings. And as much as ang dami nating mga responsibilities that we have to take care of, especially our students, kasi napakadami nilang requirements sa school, as much as possible, we want to get at least 7 hours to 8 hours of sleep, which I think for most of us, we would say na parang ano siya, unrealistic siya. Pero that's what research says eh. Kumbaga, yung sleep deprivation is one of the causes of stress, and it can further aggravates the stress that we're already experiencing. So that's number one. We need to get as much sleep that we can. Kung hindi kaya ng 7 to 8 hours, kung kayang mag-nap in between, the better. Para at least...
Wag lang during classes.
Yes, wag lang during classes kasi baka yung teacher naman po ang mas stress. Pangalawa po, siguro yung pagkain ng tama. Kasi meron tayong tinatawag na gut-brain connection. So kapag hindi nutritious food yung kinakain natin, puro mataas sa sugar or kaya naman fatty food yung kinakain natin, mas nag-aggravate yung stress response din po natin. Exercising has been proven to be a supportive intervention for our mental health state as well, kasi it releases a huge amount of endorphins, which is responsible for our positive mood. Yung mga relaxation techniques, breathing exercises. So kaya nga kanina nung nag-homily kanina, yung 3 p.m. saka 6 p.m. Parang nakatuwa kasi meron tayong a few minutes to sit down just to parang take a pause, reflect, and to really relieve ourselves from the stress. Kasi yung stress kasi parang pag naramdaman natin siya, para siyang may rush. Kasi ang dami nating iniisip, ang dami nating ginagawa. Pero yung moment of silence, just taking a walk, yan sa UST kasi napakadaming puno, diba? So yun yung mga way natin para kahit papano ma-relieve natin yung sarili natin from the stress. And siguro, Father, dugtungan ko lang yung sinabi ni Dr. Claudette kanina, yung nabanggit niyo po kasi yung pressure. I think it's also very important na magkaroon tayo ng self-compassion. Kasi karamihan kasi di ba mataas yung standards natin sa sarili natin, high expectations, and understandably, hindi lang po kasi siya nanggagaling sa atin, kundi yung expectations ng society, mas na-aggravate nito yung mga yung mga unrelenting standards natin. So mahalaga din po na we understand our limitations, and we also recognize that we're doing the best that we can kahit minsan hindi natin na-achieve yung desired outcome po natin.
Sometimes minsan yung kailangan yung meron tinatawag na para meditation no? Not just yoga pero meditation with the Lord, meditation with yourself, and walking lang sa grounds would really help. Doc, ano naman kaya ang support ng university also for our students? Kasi it's not just that they are going to do all those physical, psychological, no? But what will the university, how will the university support our students and even the stakeholders?
In terms, Father, of the support coming from the university, ang daming support na binibigay ng university sa students, Father. We have our guidance counselors, no? They have a program on stress management for all levels. First year, second year, third year, fourth year sa college. Ito, even the medical students, the law students, no? They have to go through with the stress management, and there are a lot of interventions. And for the academic staff, yung ating mga instructors, assistant professors, to professors, support staff, we have psychologists in the health service, no? They are always there. And in the College of Science, Father, we have the Department of Psychology. We usually allow students, no, to see us, even the support staff, the academic staff, administrators, and we have the mental health responders, Father. And until now, no, we established that during the pandemic, and until now, it's still operational. And ang daming support, hindi lang psychological ang university, no, ang binibigay sa ating mga Tomasian community. Financially, ang dami, no, sa medical, and ang dami, Father, benefits, no, na nakukuha din namin sa university. So, andyan palagi kayo, kahit yung mga pare, talagang they are always there to support us. So, Father, siguro kung may stress yung sa Tomasian community, no, lalo na kung nag-level up na to severity, we're just here.
Okay. Thank you. First, some questions, no? Pertinent questions. Kasi kanina we are dealing with more of a general sentiment on stress and how to deal with stress. But let's go into a much detailed or very siguro example on how the people are handling stress. Kasi for example po, any one of you can answer, no? Kasi kung sabihin natin yung bata, they are having stresses within the family, no? And kumakain sila, they are at their house, kumakain sila, pero yung stress is yung cause ng kanyang stress is within the family. Kasi kunyari, they are 5, 6 in the family, tapos ang cause ng stress niya is yung siblings niya, or even the parents, for example. They do not even care about what's happening in the family, no? Kasi siguro they are busy with their work, no? They do not have a time for their children. So when they are eating, all are silent. So parang nakakontribute siya, yung support system na dapat meron, ay wala. Kaya yung mental health problem niya, yung bata, nag-aggravate because they have a stress within sa academic, sa relationship, and yet they do not have a support within the family. Or sabihin natin, kahit sa work, no, sa work natin, kahit sa academic staff natin, sa support staff, or even the ordinary people, they have their problem in their workplace. They have a group, for example, no? They are working inside cubicles, but they are not talking with each other. Or maybe yung opinions ko do not matter at them, no, for them. Or nagmi-meeting tayo sa boardroom, hindi ako napapakinggan. So parang yung stress niya ay nanggagaling doon sa mga katrabaho niya. And he needs or she needs to work because hindi naman po pwede na hindi ako mag-work kasi meron akong family to feed with, no? So parang anong po pwedeng gawin ng mga tao individually because they cannot handle stress anymore, na it cannot just be my capacity, pero yung stresses kasi nanggagaling na from the outside and I cannot control and I cannot escape from that kind of situation. Anybody siguro? Sister muna. Yeah.
Thank you for that question, Father, because that is a very common problem. So, in clinical psychology, we have different types of psychotherapy. So, one of these types is the family therapy. So, if one of the members of the family, a child, is having this kind of problem without the awareness of the other members, so the therapist has to intervene. So usually, I because I experienced that also with my client, I have to psycho-educate the whole family. So this your member, this brother of yours has a problem. Then I talk to the parents, I talk to the children, how they can support the person. And usually, they have to change. Everybody has to change. Like a table. So, you have to change the topic that they have to talk about. Like, for example, if the person is very sensitive already, no? Because the person has already mental health problem. So, instead of talking about negative things, so everybody has to say positive to support this person. But they cannot do it by themselves alone. A therapist has to intervene and teach them how to deal with this person. So like support. But in teaching them, each one, like in supporting the person who has a mental health problem, indirectly, you are also helping them to change their behavior.
Yeah. That's a good thing, sister, no? Siguro that's a good thing to have that psychological support, no? Pero if the other people, no, other persons in the family, in the workplace, do not care, simply care. They do not problema niya yun eh. May problema din kami. I mean, we have our cares in this workplace, in the family. Why do I care? Bakit ko kailangan mag-reach out? Siya nga yung he or she ostracizes himself or herself. Ayaw namin tumulong kasi may kanya-kanya kaming problema eh. Especially sa Filipino psyche, no? Ayoko makialam dyan kasi ang bigat ang problema niya. Siguro,
siguro po in terms of interpersonal conflict sa family or sa workplace, I guess it's kung walang available na mental health intervention or psychotherapy, I think it would be good to understand kung ano yung dynamics ng relasyon nyo sa isa't isa. Ano ba yung root cause ng conflict? Kasi usually naman in a group or sa family, yung nagiging cause ng conflict are differences sa value system, sa beliefs, sa opinions, or kaya naman meron tayong mga unmet expectations sa isa't isa. So depending on the nature of the problem na nagli-lead dun sa interpersonal stressor, yun yung kailangan natin pag-usapan. And usually, kapag may mga ganong conflict, mas lumalala, nagli-lead siya. Kasi normal lang naman sa isang workplace as a family na magkaroon ng differences in opinions. Pero it becomes a conflict kapag hindi natin na-communicate ng maayos or nagkaroon tayo ng misunderstanding. So, better siguro na magkaroon ng open communication with, of course, mutual respect to each other. If we want other people to validate our opinions and our emotions, is also important to validate each other's opinion. So, kumbaga, mutual respect. Additionally, meron tayong tinatawag na Dearman technique. It's an interpersonal skills in DBT. So D stands for describe, E stands for express, A stands for assert and stands for reinforce. So dun sa letter D, we describe kung ano yung napapansin natin na ugali nung kasama natin na nagko-cause ng stress sa atin. So for example, napapansin ko na kapag nagsasalita ako, palagi mo kong kinakat or palagi mong dinidismiss yung opinion ko. Express is when we let them know exactly how we feel. Kasi kapag nag-retaliate lang tayo or nag-react lang tayo, minsan nakikitaan nila yun as something negative at in turn, nagiging defensive sila. So when we express na I feel hurt, I feel bad kapag ganun yung ginagawa mo sa akin, at least kahit paano naisip nila na kaya pala ganun siya mag-react kasi ganun yung nasasaktan ko pala siya sa mga nasasabi ko or ginagawa ko. And we assert kasi ang hirap na hindi natin nako-communicate kung ano yung expectations natin sa kanila eh. So kumbaga parang we try to communicate to them na I would appreciate it kung next time na mag-usap tayo, patapusin mo muna ako sa pagsasalita para nafe-feel ko na fina-value mo yung opinion ko. And then R, syempre 'di ba, from the behavioral perspective, rewards and punishment, 'di ba, na re-reinforce natin yung behavior, yung positive behavior kapag merong somehow good consequence. So reinforce means kapag in-acknowledge mo yung nararamdaman ko, hindi tayo mag-aaway, magkakasundo tayo. So, for me, very fun siya and a lot of my clients find it effective. So, our audience can also try that technique as well. Pero ultimately, open communication and mutual respect are ways that we can address our conflict.
Yes, thank you, Ma'am Kat. It's a good practice din yung DEAR, no? For them to know and to exactly to know their abilities, capabilities nila, tapos yung response din, ano. Doc Claudette, no, parang most of those undergoing depression are not simply telling it to people, di ba? Most of them are silent, no? Makikita mo sila maybe silent or they are laughing pero deep inside they are really depressed, no? But depression is different from being sad. It's just different from being anxious of many things. Pero deep inside, there's something happening. No? Mental health na nga, no, kasama doon. Pero how do you know they are dealing with depression and how to bring about, no? Sasabi natin na communication kasi we cannot just simply open themselves up kasi nahihirapan nga tayo makapenetrate sa kanya eh. For example, in the family, ay akala ko tahimik lang siya or akala ko masaya siya kasi tawa lang siya ng tawa. How do we know? What are those signs na they are getting depressed or yung hindi natin nakikita from the outside?
Father, there are a lot of warning signs and symptoms now that the person is suffering already from depression or mental health issues. First is that you really can see them, sila na yung hindi nag-associate sa kanilang group or sa family. Kahit nakikipag-usap, tahimik sila. Kahit yung tatay, nanay, halimbawa, nakikipag-usap, tahimik sila. Tapos they're trying to avoid other activities of the family. Tapos, Father, sila yung tipong either extremes ito, either tulog ng tulog or hindi makatulog. Sila rin yung extremes, Father, yung kain ng kain, yung iba walang appetite kumain. Tapos sila na yung tipong hindi na kaya gampanan yung mga dapat nilang gawin sa buhay. Tapos, for example, in school, sila yung palaging absent. Tapos, tatanungin mo, ba't absent ka? Maraming alibay. Hanggang napapansin mo na halimbawa, sumusobra na sa 20% na absences ang kanyang hindi pinapasukan. Sa atin, here in UST, FA na sa atin. And for example, in work, sila yung maraming absent, no? O kaya tardy. Yun yung mga signs, Father. Tapos sila yung mga restless, hopeless. At ang mahirap dito, Father, hindi sila yung tipong they will submit themselves for a therapy.
Yeah.
Mahirap, no?
Because they are hiding.
Yeah, they're trying to hide and keep all those sad experiences to themselves. Ano ang gagawin natin, Father? Invite them. Invite them first. Magdi-deny yan. No? Kung ikaw halimbawa, ikaw ang psychologist niya, kausapin mo para yung rapport ma-establish mo. And then later on, mag-open na yan, no? He will try to release pent-up emotions. Kagaya yung tinanong mo kanina, Father, no? Yung tungkol sa family na may hindi nagkakaintindihan. Si Sister, family therapy ang ginagamit niya. Si Kat Derman. So, ako, Father, it's a combination of everything, no? As a psychologist, because my goal is really to help people address the issue and return the person to the normal state. And ako, Father, in terms of dealing with this, parang hindi madali. Ipra-process ko yung tao. No? I'm using dialectical therapy, reality therapy, CBT, and the spiritual, no? Para lahat holistic, pati yung physical, yung pagkain. Kasi kailangan din, we have to make sure that the person is in his or her normal state of life. So, andun yung denial palagi, no? But with the support, I'm always asking the family members and the significant people in the development of the patient or the client to be with him, to be with her. Kasi kung nandyan yung support, talagang 100% makaka-recover yung client, yung patient. Pero kung walang support coming from the significant others, for example, the family, the professors, the classmates, the inner circle of that patient, hindi siya makaka-return. But on our end, as a helping professional, we're trying our best. Ang mahirap dito, Father, in psychology is you cannot tell until when the person would return to his normal state. It's not the same as taking an antibiotic, no? That for 7 days, Father, of taking antibiotic, meron ng progress. Ito po ay medyo, that would take a while. No? Ang kalaban natin dito is sarili. No? And we're just here, Father.
We are the last part of our program, and we will be asking our guests for their final message to our viewers. Sister, siguro mauna tayo. Sister Angie.
Yes, Father, thank you. For our audience, so this is my last word. So don't forget that you have the physical aspect, you have to take care of yourself, and then you have the psychological aspect. Choose to think of the positive, no? So always look at the positive side of life, and then remember that God is a loving God, our Creator, who is always with us. He knows everything, and He is in control of everything. So we do not have to worry. We just have to do our best and entrust to God the rest.
Thank you, Sister Angie. Ma'am Cap, please.
For our audience po, siguro yung first thing na gusto kong i-assure po sa inyo is that okay lang ma-feel kung ano yung nafe-feel nyo every time you get stressed. Kumbaga yung stress response po natin, that's a natural reaction dun sa mga nararanasan natin na struggles sa buhay. Pero kagaya nga po ng sinabi natin kanina, importante po na ma-manage natin at mag-develop tayo ng effective coping strategies. I would also like to encourage as well na it's okay to take one step at a time. For our audience, I think yung number one na highly recommended ng mental health professionals is to really engage in self-care. And we need to listen to our emotions. Kasi yung emotion natin, minsan nakala natin kalaban natin siya. Di ba, pag naka-experience tayo ng stress, ng anxiety or sadness, minsan we try to dismiss them. But remember that our emotions serve as signal. They give us warning signs, di ba, na there has to be fixed or merong imbalance in our environment that we need to address. So it's better to listen to our emotions and ask ourselves, ano ba yung kailangan ko at the moment? Ano ba yung pwedeng magpabuti nung nararamdaman ko right now? Sobrang famous din in the recent years yung concept of mindfulness, and mindfulness is the ability to stay in the present and to acknowledge our emotions with acceptance and without judgment. Kadalasan kasi tayo mismo nagiging bully tayo ng sarili nating emosyon, 'di ba? And acknowledging our emotions as valid reactions to what is happening to us, lalo kapag sobrang dami na nating struggle sa buhay, can be one way to help us, make us feel better. So importante yung mga self-soothing techniques. And ultimately, you're not alone. You don't have to face your problems alone. Your family, your friends are here. UST provides a lot of prevention strategies for mental health concerns as well as stress. Actually, itong live na to, it's one way, diba, to advocate mental health. And so we wanna maximize them. So we have the MHR, we have the Psychotrauma Clinic. So these are organizations within University of Santo Tomas that provides free mental health services. And lastly, it's okay to seek help. Prevention is always better than cure, sabi nga ng mga doctors natin. And stress is one of the predictors of mental health problems, especially among adolescents. So okay lang na mag-seek tayo ng help sa psychologists, psychiatrists, or even guidance counselors para ma-prevent natin yung or matulungan tayo na mag-cope sa stress natin at ma-prevent yung development ng mental health problems.
Thank you, Ma'am Kat. Doc Claudette, please.
Father, thank you for, it's an honor to be here, no, and to be invited, the three of us. That would mean that the mental health awareness is important in the life of everyone. And it's normal to encounter stress, to experience stress, at alam na alam kung kayang-kaya natin to. And we have a lot of intervention programs that could help people who will seek mental health issues. And another one is that the university is helping everyone, no? Particularly that we have the Team HR, which is the mental health responders. We have guidance counselors. We have psychologists at the health service. And also we have the Psychotrauma Clinic who could guide us and facilitate, address the mental health issues of the Thomasian community. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Stress isn't the enemy. It's how we respond to it that makes a difference. And the good news, we don't have to handle it alone. And we are not alone. Scripture reminds us, cast all your anxieties on Him because He cares for you. So whatever it's weighing on your heart today, lay it down. Pray about it. Breathe. Trust. Thank you for our guests, Sister Angie, Doc Claudette, and Ma'am Kat, who have given their time and presence to all of us. And thank you everyone for watching us. Laudare, benedicere, predicare. Let us all praise, bless, and preach the Word of God. Have a good day everyone, and God bless us all. And this is Friar's Desk Live.